Now, back to your turn on 1330 WEBY, Northwest Florida's talk radio. The phone lines are open, so call in and join the conversation at 623-1330.
And now, the Commander-in-Chief is back. Freedom Friday with Carl Gallups, the Oval Office of Gulf Coast Talk Radio.
Yeah, we are back, and you're back, and it's so good to have you back. I'm going to go right back to the phones because Brandon Gallups is my special guest this afternoon. And so, Brandon, we're going to move now from the nuke story to the current headlines, the LAX shooting, the Los Angeles International Airport shooting where the TSA agent was killed tragically today. But you're going to tell us, you're going to give us an update on that story, and you're going to tell us that this was actually predicted 10 months ago that it was going to happen.
Yeah, this is crazy. And look, I've been in meetings all day today. I have not listened to or seen one bit of news. And then I turn you on right down the road, and I hear you say shooting at TSA checkpoint at LAX. And my mind immediately remembers, oh, my gosh, I remember months back hearing that the TSA was training for this very scenario. And when that it was leaked, that information was leaked, that a lot of people speculated, we're getting ready to see a false flag, because what do we always see when we see training and drills? We always see that scenario happen either during the training and drills or shortly after. So, Washington Times, January 26, 2013, headline, Homeland Security training TSA workers to save themselves in shooting. I want to read the first paragraph to you. Transportation Security Administration checkpoint screeners are receiving training to prepare them for the possibility of a mass shooting at one of the agency's airport checkpoints. And those TSA personnel are being instructed to, quote, save themselves should a shooting occur. Now, aren't we told that the TSA is there for our protection?
That's what
we
were told.
Keep us safe from terrorists?
That's what we were told.
But they're trained to save who?
Themselves.
Us?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No.
Themselves.
And as a matter of fact, Brandon, I don't know if you know this because I have been keeping up with this, but when it was happening live, I mean, right after it happened, Fox News and some of those people, they were in the airport, their affiliates were with cameras and microphones just running around from person to person. People were still screaming. They were still crying. I mean, that's how fresh it was. And 2 or 3 people they interviewed said, and I'm going to paraphrase, but they said, it freaked me out because when it started, all the TSA officers started running with us. They started running away. They were screaming and hollering too. It freaked me out because I thought they were there to protect us, but they were protecting themselves. They said that this afternoon, Brandon.
Yeah. Now, listen, we can't say just because this headline article was leaked a while back and just because people speculated there would be a false flag in this arena that this, in fact, is a false flag. Now, in these days and times, we have to question everything. If you're not questioning everything, then, I don't know, take another sleeping pill or whatever you're doing. Right. But question everything, okay? Keep an eye on this and let's see where it goes, because all of the headlines that I'm reading on this right now are starting with sentences something like this. Shooter with, quote, assault-style weapon opens fire at TSA checkpoint. But then as I read the articles, I see the eyewitnesses saying that he was armed with some type of long gun. Let me refresh your memory, people. Rahm Emanuel, never let a good crisis go to waste. This will be used to try to take our guns. This will be used to further enforce the criminal TSA at the airports that are not. They are not there to protect us. You tell me one terrorist act that the TSA has stopped. You can't find one. They've spent billions rolling out this huge TSA, naked body screeners, the whole works. They are there to condition us for these style of checkpoints. We already see the reports of them happening roadside in these places. That's what happened with the woman that was executed in D.C. She came up on one of these checkpoints. They are there for nothing more than to harass and condition the American people for Nazi-style checkpoints. Just keep your eye on this story and see where it goes.
Yeah. Well, Brandon, I'm telling you, and you know I do a lot of flying, and as I go through there, and I just watch people, and I watch the agents. Now, I fly out of a local airport, and there are a couple of TSA agents there, Brandon, and I don't even know if I've told you this, that I know them personally. In fact, one used to come to the church that I pastor until they moved, but they speak to me by name when I walk through. There are 2 or 3 of them. I walk in, well, hey, Reverend Gallups, how are you doing? Where are you going today? You know, and they laugh and cut up. And of course, it's kind of hometownish, and we all are, you know, we know one another, and I fly so much. A lot of them know me and recognize me. But I sit back and I watch, and I just watch them interact, and I watch other people. And you're right, it is a conditioning, and it's a conditioning all the way around. It's a conditioning to get American citizens, aka TSA agents, who know people personally, like me, to also put me in a naked body screener without any shame.
It's a conditioning for so many things, to get little kids conditioned to having themselves sealed up by adults.
Right.
I mean, that's a part of it. Let me just, we're coming to the break, but
Yep.
let me leave you with this. Less than 2 weeks ago, check this out. Just get on the internet and check it out. Mainstream news, several major airports around the country, there were TSA service announcements going on, like you always hear, don't leave your bag unattended, blah, blah, blah. Tagged on to the end of it, said, and let us remind you that any, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it's right along these lines, that any attempt at humor or joking about TSA agents or their duties could lead to your arrest.
Yeah.
Now, it didn't say if you run through the checkpoint and scream bomb.
Right.
I can't even laugh and joke, hey, look at these idiots over here pulling the 80-year-old grandma out of line and sealing her up as to prove their power.
Right.
I might get arrested for exercising my First Amendment inside of an airport.
Right.
Apparently you don't have a constitution inside the airport these days, folks.
But if you have a turban on, they'll flag you right through.
Like they did the underwear bomber, when less than 2 weeks later, within 72 hours of the underwear bomber, look this up, all of a sudden they roll out the naked body scanner.
Yep.
That's not a coincidence.
Nope.
That is not a coincidence.
You're right. We got to go. We're flat out of time. Brandon Gallups, thank you.